Hey folks, I'm JC from One Shot Adventures, and this channel is all about how to craft a perfect, one-shot adventure or short campaign. And this week, I'm going to talk about another clever way to begin your adventures. Something a little different, maybe even a little twisted. But first, I'll emphasize how important it is for you GMs to capture your players' attention from the very first scene of your adventure. As a GM, you just have to get this right. If your players don't have a clear and interesting motivation early on, they'll likely get lost, stop paying attention, or worse, just start making trouble and derailing your finely crafted world. Well, this is a nice, quaint tavern that our game master set out for us. Let's say that we burn it down, boys! Yeah, it never happens in my games. I like to call this opening Public Embarrassment. I came up with this a few years ago while running a Mutants Masterminds campaign. My players were all superheroes, and we were a few sessions in, and man, they had saved the city at least 2 or 3 times. I wanted to give them a new challenge, something they hadn't faced before. So when the next adventure began, it started with them turning on the television in their superhero hideout. They were looking for crimes, that sort of thing, to get started, but right there on the morning show, the TV hosts were laughing about some very crude memes that had just gone viral. It was really embarrassing, ridiculous stuff. And worse, it was about one of the PCs. And within a few hours, it was everywhere. There were billboards all across the city with these memes. People were wearing t-shirts. By the evening, the late night hosts were riffing on the joke. Within the span of 24 hours, this superhero went from city savior to laughingstock. And it was clearly a planned operation. Someone was out to get him. Of course, I was also throwing some other plot hooks in the beginning of the adventure here, like I think the PCs had to stop a mob family from doing a big hit, but what really motivated my players was who was behind those terrible memes? Who hated them so much? They pretty much abandoned their superhero jobs just to track that culprit down. Is this the headquarters of that dastardly male model? No? Oh, burning orphanage. Well, you guys got this. I gotta go. Oh, and then I doubled down on the absurdity. One of the world's most famous male models, think David Gandy or Fabio for my fellow Gen Xers, took to the airways and announced that he was behind the whole thing. He admitted that he had grown to hate one of the members of this super team, the handsomest PC, of course, and that he wanted to take him down. He even threatened to blow up some supermodels unless the PC agreed to retire from public life. And this male model even posted a website for people to vote on to see who was the hottest between them, threatening that if he didn't win, he'd blow up more stuff. Now, this opening, even though it kind of sounds a little ridiculous, was probably the most invested I had ever seen my players. It was personal. They could care less about saving the city and cared more about their reputation and how they had to stop the embarrassment. And this isn't just for modern settings either. Beginning your session with a public embarrassment works even in fantasy or medieval settings. Imagine if the PCs woke up to crude drawings of them all over town, each signed with a mysterious name. Your players will forget all about the dungeon and they'll just want to get payback on this mischief maker. And the beauty of this is also that the NPC behind this scheme instantly becomes a memorable new villain. Maybe it was somebody who was rivals with the PC, or someone from their past. Go back in time in your campaign and find some lowly NPC that your players made fun of or mistreated, and now he's a real threat. Even if he doesn't have superpowers or cast spells or can threaten the entire world. And you can really target your players' personalities with this opening. There was one guy that I played with that was really proud about how powerful his wizard was. If I were to run this scenario again and make all this propaganda make him seem like a magical moron who would really botch some big spells, oh, he would be furious and out for blood. And it's also amazing how you don't even need to target the whole party for this. Just target one PC and watch the others leap into their defense. In the conclusion of my adventure, just when the PCs finally tracked down that nefarious male model, oh, they were furious. They couldn't wait to smack him around and throw him in jail. They wanted to really get revenge. Oh, and that's when I threw a final big twist into the adventure. Because in my Mutants and Masterminds campaign, it wasn't the male model that had been threatening them the whole time. It was somebody dressed as a male model. It was the Joker. And when my players realized that they had caught the attention of the Joker, well, they all turned very pale.
If you gotta go with a smile.
But I'm getting ahead of myself. That's about giving a twist to the end of the adventure, not the beginning, but maybe I'll cover that in a future video. But give this opening a try. Have you ever used this technique before? If so, let me know in the comments below. Until next time, I'm JC, and have fun with Public Embarrassment.